test. Oh, Andy's here too. He's just checking to see if he can like hear my stream on his computer. Can you hear anything?
Oh yeah, it's really quiet.
Oh, okay. Let me fix that. Hi everybody. I just have to turn this up, I think. Fuck, how do I even do this anymore? Is it... So it's like super quiet on yours? Figure out how to... Oh wait, maybe I can just like turn the knob on this. Beep boop. I'm turning this knob up. I don't know if it's doing anything. Quiet but tolerable.
There's a bit of a delay for me, so I'm just
Okay.
a minute to let you know.
No sweat.
Yeah, it's pretty dang quiet.
Yeah, what the heck? Boop. I guess I should just say shit, blah 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 blah, turning up this knob. Is that even any better? I turned this knob like all the way up.
It's like slightly better, but not really.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's changing on the audio mixer, like I'm not in the yellow range.
There's a gain knob on the back here, if you haven't tried this one.
Oh, yeah, okay. Bet. I can't tell if it's all the way up or all the way down. I'm just gonna keep turning it. I hope this doesn't deafen anybody. I think maybe I see the green audio climbing up the input thingy.
It is getting slightly louder.
Is it getting scary loud? It's in the yellow now, I'm worried.
Yeah, it's still just...
Yeah? Too quiet? Or
It's almost loud enough.
It's almost decent. Okay, here, I'm gonna keep turning the knob then. I get scared because I see the red on the input capture and I'm like, I don't want to deafen people. Beep boop. How bad is the latency?
It's about like between 5 and 10 seconds.
Oh, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, so you say some stuff and then I kind of wait 5 to 10 seconds and then let you know.
That's kind of a lot. What the heck?
It is what it is.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hopefully it won't be like that much of an issue because there's supposed to be like a Q&A portion to this with my friend's class. But I don't know. I'm sure she must deal with this all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to put like one of my headphones to like your ear and
Yeah.
you can hear yourself?
Yeah, I actually don't even know why I'm wearing my headphones because there's nothing playing on my computer anyway. Alright, I'm talking to myself at this point. Okay, that's like not bad.
It might help to like talk into your microphone more, I guess. Also, you could put your microphone like closer to you, possibly.
I guess so.
And you might also be able to use like a setting that like maybe reduces the ambient noise because there is a bit of a hum if you can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it. What even is that? Noise reduction. Maybe I should just Google it. Oh yeah, noise suppression filter. think I had a noise suppression filter. It kind of, I can just still hear traffic outside, so I don't know if that actually helped. Oh wait, did it? Maybe I had to wait like 5 to 10 seconds for the suppression. Okay. Okay, does this turn all the way up or all the way down again? I'm gonna keep turning my volume up. Nope. Yep. I don't know. I guess that is just stuff. Okay, now it sounds like it's like all the way down. Or is it? Okay, I don't know. Maybe this is fine. Do you want to give it a listen?
Oh, sure.
I could also just like talk like directly into the mic. Turning on their I am a robot filter. Oh my god. Do I sound like a robot right now? Is it that bad? My interwebs.
It's still pretty quiet, but the delay is like cuckoo bananas.
Yeah, it is cuckoo bananas. Oh well. I'm trying to think like, should I set this stream to private before doing a test run? Or maybe this is like good to practice in front of people.
Yeah, we practice in front of people by just like fucking with the audio settings for like 20 minutes while people are wondering what this stream is for.
I know the stream was like a complete accident, and I think I should just take advantage of the fact that people are even here. I wasn't expecting people to be here, but
this is the 90% content people have been waiting for.
Yeah, actually, do you want to just like run through the content I have so far, and you can just be here because it's I don't know. Then I don't have to feel the weight of streaming alone again.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean, like, I feel like it would probably be good to like mess with the mic settings at least a little more first.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, it's really hard to hear.
Okay, that's super fair.
Also, people say we sound like robots.
No. I don't even know how to fix that. I don't think I ever knew how to fix that.
Let me know if you want to try my mic.
Oh, okay.
Do.
All right, BRB mic switch. Hold this.
This is gonna be. Hang on a sec. We should press this button. might have to set your thing to use that mic because it's going to be like,
Oh, right.
new device.
Okay. It's detecting the audio. It says default. Is yours Yeti X?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You want to, or I guess like the latency is still like 5-10 seconds. Beep boop. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm gonna turn it up a bit.
Okay, go for it. I'm just gonna say stuff. I'm gonna set up this presentation, I guess. I have all these slides and all this junk. It's gonna be really funny because it's a presentation at like an actual like university, and I'm gonna be talking about this freaking game. I'm like, I don't know. Thankfully, it's gonna be remote. But yeah, how's the audio sounding now?
It's still kind of quiet.
What?
I'm gonna like my game's turned up all the way, so I'm gonna try a different setting, I guess.
Fine, but robotic. Sounds kind of filtered, but it's tolerable. I kind of wonder if it's the noise suppression that's making me sound robotic. Does it sound robotic for you?
Not really.
Oh, okay, then it might. I don't know. What is it? Internet issue? Bro's in a space station? Goddamn. Okay, I'm gonna try removing the noise suppression. Okay, that's off, I think. I don't know if that helps. The noise suppression does actually do that. Does usually do that. Okay. Well, okay, so we have two options. I sound like I'm in a space station, or I sound like I'm in my apartment and you can hear the traffic outside. Either way, I think traffic is kind of charming. Like, I'm not playing any background music or anything, so we need some kind of, some ambiance. How's it sound for you now?
But I gotta make sure it's still quiet compared to like other things. This is so strange how quiet it is.
I think the voice is doubled. The voice is doubled.
It did sound kind of weird when I went.
My throat's full of goo. What's going on? I ate too much candy.
Got too silly. Okay, that setting just introduces a shitload of background noise.
Oh. Should I just put the mic like right in front of my face?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Okay, the mic's right in front of my face now. There seems to be an after sound effect.
What the hell's an after sound effect?
I think like an echo, right? But that's so weird. Like, why are there? I don't have two audio inputs. Unless is it capturing? Well, it wouldn't be capturing the audio from like just out in the room. A little echo kind of sound.
A little bit.
Can I hear what it sounds like?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You can try messing with these, like, this button on the back. It, like, switches through a few different, like, settings for the mic. You can see which one sounds okay. But the one that's a circle sounds terrible. It just introduces, like, a ton of background noise.
It does sound echoey.
Yeah, kinda.
Why?
Do you still have noise filtering on?
No, I think I turned that off. Filter, noise suppression. Yeah. I'll just delete that, I guess. Now it's definitely not there. Speak to chat activated? What the heck? Sorry, I just heard. Oh no, wait, that was on your headphones. Okay, it said speech to chat activated.
Oh yeah, that's on my headphones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you hold it with 3 fingers on the side, it does a thing.
Oh. Okay.
And then the audio sounds weird after that. I don't know if you want me to turn it off.
No, that's okay. What do you think we should do? Let me look it up.
I guess like my default way of doing anything is just to like screw around with all the settings I can find until it sounds okay.
Okay. Do you want my mouse? Do you want to like screw with the settings?
I could. I'm also curious if like I don't know. Adding and removing and then re-adding like your audio input capture would fix it. Maybe it's gotten into a weird state.
Okay, I'll remove it. BRB. Add audio input capture. Default Yeti X. Okay. Just back in. I think. It sounds better? Really? And now it doesn't? Oh, fuck. Briefly lost the echo and then gained it again. Dude, what is happening?
Sounded good for a glorious half second.
Okay. Yeah, it does sound echoey. I think you have 2 inputs because it sounded normal when you remove the audio input. Oh, really? Okay, let me just fucking blow this up. I removed the audio thingy altogether. Now I'm just hearing myself in the room. Wow, that's so crazy that it turns off the sound canceling. Now I can hear myself.
Yeah, those headphones are weird.
Really? Y'all can still hear me?
The fuck? Where the hell is it getting audio from?
I don't know. Wait.
We have no audio input
it says
in
there's
OBS.
No. What source are you talking about? It just says display capture. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully, just everyone. There's a consensus of yes, they can still hear us. So I can't imagine that we're getting trolled. But
well, this actually sounds so good. That's so funny.
Oh, for real. God damn it. Had again. This is why I don't stream anymore, is specifically this. Anyway, do you want to just start like practicing the presentation?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah,
Okay.
It turns out the move was to not have any audio input, or maybe it's like getting input as on like Google's side, possibly. Is that a thing? I haven't streamed in like 50 years, dude.
I don't know.
I'm old now.
Well, yeah, because like normally I would put in like an audio capture thing, but like in Streamlabs. Anyway, so I originally started this stream thinking it was private because I wanted to practice in private, but you guys are here, so you're our new audience, for a presentation that I'm going to be doing at like my college, AU Arts. I guess it's not college anymore, it's a university. Oh, okay, we have a timer. Yeah, so the time limit is 1 hour-ish. Absolute ceiling to that is like 2 hours, is what my friend told me. Ideally, I present this in 1 hour and then have 30 minutes of Q&A. So I guess I'm just gonna start and pretend that I'm just like presenting to a bunch of college students. Hi, I'm Denny Trong, or just 90% Denny, as I'm known online. I'm a keyframe animator for Jaden Animations and part of a 2-person indie game development studio called 90% Studios. I started off doing mostly freelance animation, but after publishing my first game in 2019, I've been doing more and more game dev, and now I make most of my living making games, just full time. So, I need to take a breath. I fucking said all that in like one breath.
This is what practice is for.
Yeah, this is what practice is for. It's like, I gotta get the nerves off. Okay. I'm here to talk about my approach to world building for our games, for a storytelling and environments class. As a disclaimer, because all the games we work on are passion projects with no oversight from a client or boss or publisher, I'm essentially permitted to be as disorganized and impulsive as I want, which is reflected in my process or lack of a process. So I'll do my best to explain myself. Um, Also, content warning, the first project I'm going to talk about has cartoon gore and mass death in a high school setting. The blood is pink, the gore is pretty cartoonish, but sometimes there are guts and brains and arms around, and conceptually it might be disturbing to some people, so just like take care while watching. um yeah, first slide. This is the project, Purrfect Apawcalypse. Made half a year after graduating from AU Arts. I already started for working for Jane Animation, so I was in a good mindset, as in this didn't have to be for profit. Like, this wasn't made with profit in mind. I was just, free from school, and I was hoping to learn how to program and compose music while making this thing. So, yeah, I wanted to make something less refined and less family friendly and just more cringe and free, because, it was just like so antithetical to everything that I'd been taught in school. Just wanted to break free of that mold. So, inspirations. I was like really into Doki Doki Literature Club at the time, and probably subconsciously Danganronpa, even though I'd only seen one episode. I also saw some artists on Tumblr like making short visual novel games in like a week or even less, and I thought like, wow, I could do that easy. So I gave myself a game jam-esque timeline of 3 days. I heard that one of the best things you can do for your own development is, as a first-ish time game dev, is to see a project through to the end in as low fidelity as possible. Just being able to work on every part of the machine from start to finish will give you so much insight into the overall process of making a game. And speaking for myself, I was like so sure that I was going to make a shitty game, like either way. So it may as well like take 3 days instead of 3 years. Okay, the story in keywords. I personally feel like what makes a game or project good is always the story. Like character design, environment design, world building, sound design, and even UI, like all should serve to support that narrative. And, this isn't true for every game, but I think you could argue that every game has some sort of narrative, whether it's written by the developers or it's, played by the players. Example, Peak. Every Peak run has a story. Anyway, the first thing I did at the start of the 3-day process was think up a quick story just in the shower. Like, I literally just thought this up. And I don't know, I guess it kind of evolved as I wrote it, but essentially the story is you're a dog trapped in an all-dog high school during some sort of cat demon apocalypse wherein cat demons are mauling all the dogs, leaving you and a few others as the last survivors. Your goal is to find another survivor so you can die peacefully with whatever companion you find, or maybe even attempt to stop the apocalypse. Originally the characters weren't going to be cats and dogs. I just kind of added that in because it seemed more interesting and cute. I also definitely wanted it to be a horror game because I don't know, I just have like a general interest in horror, and also DDLC was an inspiration. So yeah, this is our North Stars. This story, these keywords should inform every design decision going forward. Yeah. So I know that this is not like supposed to be a character design class, but I feel like it's really difficult to talk about world building and narrative without talking about the characters. So these are like the first 2 mood boards I put together. First one has the 6 characters, their breeds of dog. There's a golden retriever on there. I think Husky, instead of a Husky, Sparky was gonna be a golden retriever. I think I changed that because Huskies just like looked cooler and more distinct from the other dogs. Yeah, and then on the right is a bunch of school uniforms. I thought that it would help save time to just like design a single uniform that all students would wear. I kind of didn't do that. I still personalized all their uniforms a little bit from each other, but I think it did save a bit of time. And I also feel like I have to apologize because this is anime, and so like my schooling at AU Arts was very anti-anime. So getting out of school, a part of like reconnecting with myself as an artist was like connecting with my inner weeb and going back to my roots, and I don't know, finding a lot of inspiration in anime. So, but bam. Style mood boards. Before drawing, I wanted to pin down a style that would work with the sort of like comedic apocalypse theme. These were like 3 ideas. In the upper left is my mood board for like a biblical, celestial, illustrated manuscript kind of aesthetic. And it was like very mature looking and like so not me as an artist. I have never once drawn in this style, I don't think. I think I put it together because it seemed cool conceptually, and maybe somebody else could, pull off a Purrfect Apawcalypse type game in this style, but it wasn't going to be me, so that was scrapped. In the upper right is like another kind of, I don't know, random aesthetic I put together, and I don't like this. It looks very clip art. And also I don't really draw in that style either. It's so not colorful enough. And the bottom left mood board obviously is my favorite. I mean, like, I even put this should tell you something about myself, is like I'm so conceited. I put my own drawing in it of the Deltarune characters because I liked it so much, and I felt like it fit the style that I like at the time. And this mood board was thrown together without any kind of like concern for the narrative themes of Purrfect Apawcalypse. Like, it doesn't really scream apocalypse. Maybe it screams perfect. But anyway, yeah, that's the style I went with. Bottom right is a screenshot from the final demo. Yep, bright colors. That's all I like. Yeah. Yeah, these are the character sketches. So I gave myself an hour to design each character. My thought process was like super bare. Just in keeping with my shallow anime inspirations, I gave each character like 1 or 2 words describing them. Our protagonist, starting in the upper left, is Olive, who is anxious and starved for companionship. For having made so many visual novels at this point, I actually don't play a lot of them, but I know that it's common for the protagonist to be generic, someone you could project yourself onto, so Olive was supposed to be that, just non-binary, plain, but cute. And they ended up developing a more multifaceted personality as I wrote them, as did most of the characters here. They all started off as just like shells of themselves here. Brownie, next up, is energetic, upbeat, cool girl at school. Sparky, he's sporty, good guy that just wants to rescue as many classmates as possible. Patches is the charming Dalmatian bookworm with nefarious goals. Coco, a mysterious witch cat with anger management issues. And Angel, Coco's dead brother, whom she wants to avenge, and he's just kind of like a sad, dead ghost cat. And that's literally all I thought of. Like, I mean, there's some notes here kind of expanding on each of these characters. But yeah, that's very bare. Final character designs. I think I drew this lineup in like an hour. I just picked the sketch that I liked the most and then drew them full body with a uniform. I might have like erased and redrawn certain elements of their clothing, but there wasn't a lot of ideation there. I definitely didn't draw like a bunch of different outfits. Just kind of picked what came to mind, and that was that. At this point, I think I spent like 6 to 8 hours just designing the characters, and that was it. After that, it was just jumping right into drawing their final assets, which have, different brows, eyes, mouths, and poses that could all be swapped together. For Purrfect Apawcalypse, I guess 0, which is the demo, it was all of these elements were merged together into single images. I cannot recommend that. Yeah, I feel like going into the later games, we ended up putting all the sprites together programmatically, and that was like much more efficient. But yeah, for the style, their heads are just like perfect circles almost. Their paws are circles, and they have no noses. And this is totally the product of me at the time not feeling confident in drawing more dimensionally, like not being good at drawing hands and having no idea how to draw a classic furry snout. I just wanted to get this done super fast. And yeah, that's it. Okay. Finally, we get to talk about the environments for what is supposed to be an environmental storytelling class. this is like the first thing you see in that demo, I think, like once you start a run of the game, is you're inside a closet. These are supposed to be closet doors. Yep. You see a crack through the doors of the classroom. And yeah, I guess each environment is supposed to tell you a little bit of about the character that you find there. So for Olive, who is cowardly and a bit generic, what better place to put them than in a generic school classroom, more specifically hiding in the closet. So the first thing you see when you leave the closet is just just mayhem, I guess. Yeah, wait, let me look at my notes. Yeah, I didn't do any ideation for the backgrounds of this game. I think the environment started off as sketches that I'd like erase and redraw and color until it felt complete. So what you're looking at is actually literally like the sketch that I started with. I blocked in all the colors with a lasso tool to save extra time. All the blood, I don't know, it's all like it's meant to be very fast and loose. Yeah, it's supposed to look a bit like a crime scene, so I don't know. Some design choices are just like trying to get the the momentum of the blood sprays like all over the walls. Like maybe the paw prints tell you about like the characters scrambling to get out of the room. Yeah. Anyway, gonna have to clean up my notes here. Anyway, going forward, I asked myself, like, what would I do if I was in this situation? Like, where would I want to go? Who would I want to find? And this kind of translated to, like, all the options that you had going forward in the game. Yeah, first thing I'd probably do is, like, go back in the closet. Honestly, fuck that. Or bathroom, library, cafeteria, gym, basement, all distinct places you could go in the school. The bathroom is, like, the one environment that actually did have some ideation. Well, because it was like based a little bit on another environment I'd drawn for like a school project at AU Arts. And it's, yeah, it's not like I actually picked like a real composition from these thumbnails and then redrew it for Purrfect Apocalypse, but I think it's just subconsciously influenced it. Just thought I'd throw this in to show that I do some thumbnail work, but for Purrfect Apocalypse, most of it was just drawn immediately. Here are the other environments. Yeah, it's just like not a lot of thought put into them. Just like, oh, this is a dog high school. There should be dog treats on the bleachers. There should be like blood sprays everywhere. Just a waterfall of blood. I think the one part of this where I did put a little bit of thought is like here in the library, there are these stab wounds on this character, this librarian character, to kind of help indicate that the person you find in the library maybe doesn't have like the best of goals. Maybe they like stabby. Bottom left is the basement, because nothing good ever happens in the basement of like a horror flick. So this is where you find Coco and Angel summoning ghost cats with their magic circle. Man, to break character for a second, I find it so funny like having to explain all these backgrounds in depth. Like it feels really funny to explain it to you guys who have already played this game. But pretend I'm explaining this to a bunch of students who maybe have never heard of Purrfect Apocalypse. Apocalypse. Yeah, God forbid anybody in that classroom is actually a fan. That would be hilarious. Anyway, okay, back in character. Yeah, and then yeah, the background that you see when you die in the game is just literally the school doors leaking blood. God knows what happened in there. Let's see. Okay, and now supplemental environments. Yep, there's the cafeteria where you try to sneak a bite of deadly chocolate in order to die a more pleasant death than you would have at the hands of the cat demons. There's the door to the basement to add some grandiosity before entering, and the hallways that link all the rooms and are patrolled by killer cat ghosts. And there were some alternate, variations of pre-existing backgrounds, like this one of the basement entrance where you just destroy these pipes and everything floods. But all in all, I think there were like 9 full distinct backgrounds, not including variants like this. And putting it all together. So with the character art, background art, a bit of UI design to track the character's happiness with you. These cute little icons with hearts. With some dialogue, custom font, music, and sound effects. Everything came together in about 2 months, which is, if you noticed, is a little bit more than 3 days. But that is to be expected, I guess, for like nearly a first time full game. The bulk of the work was spent on writing, learning how to program, though I ended up getting a friend, hello Andy, to help a bit with the programming. I also learned how to compose music, and by compose, I mean clicking around in FL Studio until something audible happened. This is like so evident. The music for PA1, I think, is so bad. But I'm thankful I stuck with the project until the end, even though I think there are things that could definitely be better. But I came out with a couple of new skills, which is a pretty good deal for 2 months of partially full-time, partially part-time work. And as an extra bonus, I really hadn't expected it, but this extremely short, free game got popular thanks to a handful of streamers and a dedicated little fandom. Yeah, thank you guys. So, on to PA2. I felt like 50% pressure and 50% inspiration to work on a sequel. I was really excited that people liked the initial concept, and I enjoyed working with this lack of a process. So knowing I could pump out a game in like 2 months, I wasn't afraid to immediately jump into another project, especially since a lot of the groundwork for the themes and the characters was already there. Timeline and notes. I put a lot more effort into this game with still with a pretty strict timeline, though not as delusional as with PA1. I would assign an amount of time for every particular task, I guess. Yeah, I was looking through my old notes and found that I had allotted 5 days to planning and preliminary writing, 10 days to a rough draft of the script, 9 days to sketch every character sprite asset, 10 days to clean and color those sprites, and so on. I don't think that I stuck to this timeline at all, but I guess I'm just trying to give an idea of like, shoot for a really tight timeline, and you'll probably wind up with scope creep, but it's much better than shooting for like a more generous timeline and winding up spending years on this. My notes, at least the notes that I still have, like this notepad, is all that I have really of the writing for PA2, like the preliminary writing. And it kind of just touches on different ideas for like the initial start of the game. Originally, there's the lights were like going to go out, and every time they came back on, you'd realize someone else had been murdered. It was going to be more of like a murder mystery almost. I guess even from the start, the hidden goal was to resurrect Patches. I guess this is sort of to show like how fast and loose I was with the writing. I would just kind of exhaust all the ideas I had in this shitty notepad, unedited, no grammar, no all typos, and then just pick the best ideas and clean those up. Point and click concept. So PA2 was going to be a point and click adventure game. The concept was scrapped because I couldn't figure out how to do it on my own, and Andy was busy with school. So this whole concept was scrapped. I just thought I'd show it for interest's sake. Originally, I was going to frame the characters, or frame the background with the characters on either side. That is still true to the final game. But the background was going to be a closer up of any particular room with like clickable points of interest. When you click on them, this sort of scrolling text chat would appear, and it would contain dialogue with a little dialogue tail that would point to whichever character on either side said it, any kind of close-up illustration of different points of interest, and all your dialogue choices would be in this little text stream. Another idea was to have a map of the house, I guess, and all the rooms and how they connected and what's going on in each room. Like if you found a body in a room, it would be listed here. Or maybe you found a weapon in a room and it would be listed here. Like this is sort of just to track information for the player. And another idea was to have one that was just for the characters, so you could keep track of all of Olive's companions and like what state they're in. Brownie, her body is in the bathroom, as per usual. That's very her. So, but yeah, didn't end up going with that. I guess I'm just gonna jump into like the actual environment design that I did for this game. I only did thumbnail sketches for the exterior of the Grimalkin estate, which is, I guess, quite a bit different from the first game where I did almost no thumbnails, I don't think. I also threw together like mood boards for each room and environment in the game. Also didn't do that for PA1, but I guess I had more care for PA2. But yeah, for story context, for those who have not played PA2, Purrfect Apawcalypse 2 takes place on Olive's birthday, which happens to be on Halloween. The party is thrown by Coco. This is Coco's house, the Grimalkin estate. She is the evil witch cat from the first game, and as a way to make up for having killed all the dogs at Olive's high school, she kind of hosts this party, and yeah, that's cat logic for you. It's quite a shift from the vibe of the first game, where none of the characters knew each other, and there was a lot of animosity between cat and dog characters. So now they're all just sort of figuring out how to be friends, but all the dogs that died in the initial game are resurrected as zombies, and it turns into yet another apocalypse that the cast has to survive. This time, a zombie apocalypse. Hilarious. Let's see. Yeah, immediately after doing these thumbnail sketches, I just picked the one that I wanted and then drew it large scale. I tried to make it very obvious that this house belonged to a cat, so I just put cat ears on everything. Oh, I need to clear my throat.
I'll get you some water.
Oh, really? Okay, thank you. Oh, okay, yeah, let's take a break. I'm sick of talking.
You're doing good.
Thank you. Are you guys enjoying the presentation? Oh, I guess I should pause this timer. Oh, it's only been 23 minutes? Holy crap. I thought it'd been like an hour.
Alright, here's some water.
Thank you. No! My water! Wait, drink right up against the mic. Okay. Just literally spilling water everywhere.
You drank all of it. I'll go get some more.
No, wait, I didn't quite finish it. Let me finish it. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know why I'm so thirsty. Dude, I actually blame PA for making me a furry. That was the first interaction I've had with anything furry related. Honestly, me too. I never identified as a furry before Purrfect Apawcalypse. I know, I guess furry is kind of there are a lot of different ways to be a furry. I never had a fursuit, so I just kind of assumed I don't think that I'm furry. I do like drawing anthropomorphic cats and dogs and always have, but I didn't have any contact with the furry community until I put out Purrfect Apawcalypse. Yeah. More water. Wow.
Then you know.
Alright. Dude, I used to hate the fuck out of furries, but now I'm non-binary, love all PA characters and CKC characters. Dude, we're the pipeline.
We cured them.
We cured them. We cure furry hatred. Okay. I'm gonna restart this timer.
Cool.
Okay, continuing the presentation. Last thing I said. Great. Now I kind of have to burp. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, after making the initial sketch, I just drew, I outlined, I did the line art, I guess, for the main menu illustration. Here it is, without Olive in the way and without the main menu buttons and all that. Like in the first game, the paws are circular, the line art is rough and chalky. It still sort of looks like it belongs in the same universe, only more cleaned up than PA0, I guess. Yeah, I went with this brush texture because it hid a lot of mistakes. So that was partially like a time-saving choice, but also later became like an aesthetic choice. Like I feel like Purrfect Apawcalypse just doesn't look the same unless it has this chalk brush. Yeah, a weird choice I made that I can't even explain is like this view of the house is like kind of like it's just purple. It's like purple, a bit of yellow, nice color palette, and then we go here and it's green. Like, why did I do that? I think I was like inspired by the mood board. We'll see in a later slide. Yeah. These are the mood boards for each of the rooms in the game. Bottom right is the mood board for the yard, which is mostly green. So I probably looked at that and was like, hey, let's just make this whole yard illustration green, even though it's purple in the main menu. And no one has given me flack for that, which is very kind of you. But I guess that's one thing I would have done differently. And maybe something that would have benefited from like a bit more ideation, a bit more thinking and planning. But it is what it is. And yeah, I guess one nice thing about all of the backgrounds in PA2 being monochromatic is that things really pop on top of them. So let me find an example. Here are a bunch of the backgrounds from PA2. They all have an assigned color, assigned almost at random. I don't know why the bathroom is red. I don't know why the bedroom is blue. It just kind of is what it is. But thankfully, because it's monochromatic, the characters pop on it. Little details like this magic circle or the blood of these zombies really pop on the background. So in a way, it's like less cognitive overload because, I don't know, in the end, the background is in the background. But yeah, me kind of jumping around these. I might have to reorganize this in my notes, but after making these mood boards and just kind of having them on the side as reference, I jumped into drawing all of the rooms isometrically. I started with a grid that I probably just found on Google Images and like, yeah, drew over top of. This is the outline for the kitchen. I was just kind of blocking out the floor plan of each of these rooms and actually trying to make it so that they could all fit together. So you could actually like, well, it doesn't fit perfectly together. Like the living room looks like a bit short and stuff, but you could build this in Minecraft, and I think somebody actually did. So I guess all this work was worth it. Yeah, after planning all of like the doors and entryways and the layout, I jumped straight to like drawing all of the little pieces of furniture. And I tried to keep everything as cat themed as possible. The tub is a cat. The toilet paper is all like unraveled because cats like be like that, I guess. Yeah. This pumpkin cat, it has cat ears. The rug is cat shaped. Very simple, very to the point, you know, no fucking around. It's cats or it's bust. Except for the bedroom actually had a little bit more thought. Because this is Angel and Coco's bedroom. Coco's desk is covered in like witch paraphernalia, cauldron, crystal ball, all the classics. Angel's is surrounded by books because he reads. And also like he's sad. He's a sad guy, so he has a skull pillow. And Coco wears a flower in her hat sometimes, so she has a flower pillow. See, these are very simple decisions that I made with very little thought, but I guess it worked. And then the living room, little table for the birthday tea party. Everything is supposed to look a little bit like ornate because the Grimalkin family is like that. The fireplace has cat ears. There's a moose head on the wall just for kicks. They don't give a shit about other animals. They'll put the head on anything. Take the head off anything, whatever. Where was I going with this? Yeah, I guess that's like kind of all I had to say about the backgrounds. I literally just went straight into laying it out and drawing it. Anyway, putting everything together, here are the screenshots from the actual game with the characters, backgrounds, dialogue, UI elements like inventory and affection trackers, which are a bit different from PA0. Each area of the house has its own gate or door that frames the character on either side of the screen. It's another little, perhaps environmental design choice that I made. Yeah, most of the time all will have like at least one companion with them. So, yeah. The characters weren't redesigned too much. I just gave them like casual, non-school uniform outfits. I don't have any sketches or mood boards for that, as far as I know. Yeah, I definitely feel like I have to clean up the ending script of PA2. I think from this point of the presentation onwards, this is going to be pretty messy because this presentation actually is not even like done yet. I'm still working on the script. But yeah, I guess at this point we're going to talk about Patch's Inferno. Okay, so PA2 ended with a bit of a cliffhanger, so I had to make a third game. But I was very adamant that this would be the last, and I'm still quite adamant about that. This time the playable character would be Patches, who is in possession of Angel's body, hence he is a cat here. There are dogs on the right, cats on the left. The idea is that everyone is going to have a cat-dog school day to prove that cats and dogs can get along so that some elites, these sick fucks here, will agree to resurrect the zombie dogs. So yeah, that means that this game takes place mostly back at the school, which thankfully there's a lot of design work done for already in PA0. But there were some environments that have not appeared yet. For example, the Elite Magic Club on the upper right. Yeah, looking through all of my process like for this game, I don't have any mood boards. Like I don't think I did that for this game. So I have no idea how I came up with this. I think that I just jumped immediately into probably drawing the characters first and then using them as a size reference to draw the furniture in these rooms. And then just went from there. So these are some sketches. By this point, Andy had more free time, so he was able to make the point and click concept from PA2 a reality for PA3. These are some sketches laying out the elements of like a couple rooms. Top left is the living room from the Grimmelkin estate, now seen from a flat orthographic view. Each of these sketches would take up a whole in-game screen. Some rooms, like the home ec room at the bottom, take up multiple screens, so you can kind of move room to room by clicking an arrow button. Sort of like a side scroller, but more clicking and less scrolling. It would have been really cool. I think like at this point in my life, I think I had played Night in the Woods. I probably actually played Night in the Woods much earlier than this. But in a perfect world, it would have been like Night in the Woods, where you can actually walk and the environment would move like with your character and stuff. But yeah, you kind of do what you can with what you have. I briefly thought about having color constraints similar to PA2 and PA1, where each background had an assigned color and it was monochromatic. And I think I showed this to Andy, and I distinctly remember you saying that it looked like butter. And I was like, well, we can't have that. I can't do butter. So, yeah, I decided to just like make it normal colors, just like a full color palette. You can see here in the upper left, it looks much better. Like you can still tell like it is kind of assigned like a yellow color palette, but there's some complementary violets and all that. And I think this is sort of the case for all backgrounds in this game. The Elite Magic Club is teal, home ec is purple. If I recall, the library is still yellow, just like in PA0. The cafeteria is still green, like in PA0, all that. Yeah, let me see what I have for notes here. Yeah, I really I didn't veer too far from the original sketches. I just cleaned them up, maybe changed the size and placement of certain things, maybe added a few Easter eggs. Like yeah, it looks like in the previous sketches, Banny the rabbit, this creature here.
Annie.
Yeah, Banny. If you don't know, she is a character from like an old YouTube animation series that I made while in school. But yeah, that character's there. There's Hello Puppy's there. But otherwise, yeah, I did not tweak it much from the first sketch. Let's see what else. Yeah, okay. That is those are all the slides I have. I
Cool
think
Kid Cody jump scare.
Cool Kid Cody jump scare. What even is this? Okay, I'll just show the rest of the slides just kind of for fun, but might not be part of the presentation. I was thinking of like making a chart, kind of comparing the timelines for each of the games, like how much time we spent on them. PA1 took 2 months, PA2 took like I think 8 months, PA3 took 9 months, which is funny because in my memory I thought it actually took less than PA2, but maybe I was looking at like the timeline I'd listed on our site and it says it took 9 months of development. So, but bam. And Cool Kid Cody, like each of these seasons, like it was like a year of work in the in the midst of which were like the releases that took place like one episode per week for like 10 weeks per season. But arguably, Cool Kid Cody had another year of development from previous visual development work at AU Arts. Like, it started off as a project in school, and I, continued developing it like here and there, like maybe a little bit before PA1. I was like developing it. Yeah, these are some screenshots from Cool Kid Cody. I don't know if I'll have time to talk about Cool Kid Cody in this presentation. I guess we're only at like 35 minutes. Bro, I have so much shit to write.
Yeah, you can blather
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, actually, I could just blather. Like, maybe I don't even need notes. Yeah, but you gave me that look and I was like, okay, well, you think I need notes. It's like, I've spent so much time on this presentation already, and I want to get back to working on Pilotone, but I want to do a good job.
About the notes thing, I was projecting because like I like need notes so badly when I do presentations. Like I'm so dumb. I like forget what I was gonna talk about.
Well, like midway through a lot of these slides, I was trying to read my notes, and then I would think of something else, and then I'd like blather, and I'd look back at my notes and be like, oh well, I just blathered about the thing I wrote notes about, and now I'm lost.
Something you could do that I find helps me is like I make my notes much more vague. Like here's the slide
Right.
and here are like the main things I want to touch on, and then just use that as a reminder of things that you were going to blather about. So by the end you've blathered about everything you needed to blather about.
Yeah, that's true. I should just do like bullet points because I surprisingly am able to improvise better than I originally thought I would.
I think like you should totally talk about Cool Kid Cody for sure, because I think, in my opinion,
Yes.
the environmental work you did for Cool Kid Cody was like much more detailed and nuanced than some of the work you did for Purrfect Apocalypse. And I think there's a lot of good stuff to talk about, like for students. So for those, you set up your slides, throw in those like super vague bullet points, and then you could do another presentation to me later about the Cool Kid Cody stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be perfect.
Cool.
Yeah, I do agree. I think Cool Kid Cody has way more thought put into it. I feel like I was like kind of biased towards presenting Purrfect Apocalypse because it's like so much more popular, but I think that's going to be a funny thing to talk about with the students, is that like it's that classic, like you made a sketch, you just pulled a sketch out of your ass that is now the most popular thing you've ever made, compared to the fucking Odyssey that you spent years and years working on is like not necessarily as popular, but still very important and precious to have been made. I think it's like you can't equate the amount of work you put into a project with the quote unquote like success it finds after publishing. If you, I don't know, equate success to like popularity and all that.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of students will find that relatable because I think most artists have like that one thing they did that
Yeah.
popped off for no reason, and it's like far and away the most popular thing they've ever made, even though
Hmm.
they've put so much more effort into things since then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be relatable.
Yeah. I feel like I can't completely explain why PA became popular. I feel like I am tempted to like try to talk about that with the students because maybe they want to have like some kind of concrete takeaway, but I don't have any moral of the story. I think it just like this is just something that happened to me. I'm like, I don't know why it happened.
Cute doggy.
Yeah, cute doggy. I think it helped that it was like furry and it was gay and it was like kind of close to the pandemic. And that those are like the three things that I can think of that made it pop off.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't want to serve that on a platter and be like, this is your formula for success, kids. Do this. Like,
Just show up to the class with your get rich quick scheme. Just like make a
Yeah.
furry game during a pandemic.
I don't know. I don't want that to be the takeaway. But if there could be a takeaway, it'd be that like you should just like, because I hear so many students after school, after like art school, they like lose their passion or they can't find themselves in their art afterwards. To just like make something really quick that is really stupid and shallow and just made up of all the things that you like and don't worry about appealing to a client or anybody. I think that would be my recommendation. Just like don't worry about the process. Just make the thing that you like and the process will like come to you.
Yeah, and I think that that makes a ton of sense to me. And I think another thing you could tie in there is just that age-old adage with like indie video game development where it's like just get things done. Like you don't
Yes.
have to like make a game forever and make it like perfect. Just I don't know when it's time to just cut things off, ship something. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good and all that.
Yeah, totally. There's so many people that just get stuck in development for years and years. Um, yeah, hopefully that doesn't end up being me because I know like Piloton is going to be a longer timeline and I got so used to just like publishing something once every like 1 or 2 years or like with Purrfect Apawcalypse, all the development for each game was like under a year. But I feel confident that we can embark on a multi-year project and not get too bogged down.
At least we're having fun with it.
I'm having so much fucking fun with it.
Yeah.
Man, I really wanted to talk about Piloton for this project, but I wonder if I'll probably still have time maybe to talk about it.
What would you like to say about Pilotone?
I just want to show people and be like, look at my OC. look how cute she is. Look at her, she's going into space. Maybe I'll have time because like the presentation, I only had been talking for like 30 something minutes.
Yeah, talk about
Yeah.
Pilotone if you can. I feel like you have good process work for Pilotone.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting because I guess I have like a bit of thumbnail work for like the environment in Piloton, but it's literally just one environment. And so I think that's why I shot it down for myself was like, this is an environmental storytelling class and there's only one environment in this game.
But that makes the environment so much more important.
That's true. Yes, it's like everything happens here. And another thing that I would have loved to talk about was like UI and like micro game design and how that is an extension of the environment. Like environment is not just a flat illustration when you're thinking in the context of like a video game, especially a 3D video game or like something with a lot of like elements and stuff. Like if you think about Papers, Please, like the environment is not just a room. It's like, it's everything. It's the paper.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
With Pilotone, you could also talk about how the environment is meant to like evolve throughout the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You seem like super engaged when you talk about Pilotone. I feel like you gotta do it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, maybe I'll touch on that. Anyway, yeah, let me see what I have for like Cool Kid Cody because I did put some like slide material together for Cool Kid Cody. And yeah, I don't even know how to talk about this. I feel like I would just show this and be like, hey, look, I drew thumbnails. I drew 1 million houses for Cody's house, and then picked the coolest one, and then I drew that. And that's sort of like the process.
You got notes you can steal.
I got notes, yeah, okay, let me see what Past Denny said. But yeah, in contrast okay, going back into presentation mode. In contrast with the work with Purrfect Apawcalypse, Cool Kid Cody had much more development. It had much more ideation, such as this. An example of like Cody's house. I would draw a bunch of different houses, kind of inspired by, I told my professor like I was inspired by like Midwestern housing, which I now know to not be true because I don't think Midwestern houses even look like this. But yeah, I just wanted it to be like sharp and geometric, like Cody was, very like 90s looking, even though like, well, I think it was very 90s inspired, even with like the siding of the house here and all that. I tried different colorways and kind of settled on a palette that was most similar to like Cody's design, his pansexual flag kind of outfit.
Hey.
Hey, and then I drew that. Oh yeah. Also. Okay, wait. Let me explain myself. No, okay, so this is like shit from like a different slide. So I was gonna have a slide where I talked about like the story for Purrfect Apawcalypse, and how it was like inspired by personal experience, not actual personal experience. Okay, I've never experienced like thank God I've never experienced like death in high school. But I wanted to talk about how good stories come from like personal experiences, and how before making Purrfect Apawcalypse I had a lot of baggage from high school because like I'd like, kind of been maybe arguably bullied. I still like, I look back on that and I'm like, was I bullied or were people just kind of like, they just didn't like me? Like, that's fine. But
oh my God.
Oh, but whatever. Like, bottom line is I felt very like isolated in high school. And so I wanted to make a game that was sort of like about friendship coming together under like duress. And I'm not a psychologist. I bet a psychologist could like kind of look into my brain and tell me like, oh, you made this decision because of this, or like you made patches like this because you're fucked up inside. I'm like, I don't know, probably.
Don't say that.
Don't say that. I don't know. I fucking hate patches, but but yeah, so this slide was going to be like personal experience. High school sucked. The way I expressed it. What if I made it suck more by making this game where high school really, really sucks? But yeah, obviously the slide was scrapped. We don't need that. Oh, it's so cute. What was this for? Oh yeah, I was going to I had this photo from Cool Kid Cody brought up because I wanted to talk about like some design. Holy shit, this is way too much stuff. Some design work I did for like this environment in Cool Kid Cody. I really hope I'm not spoiling too much. So I won't say too much about this environment maybe. But yeah, this image is that portrait on the wall. Every little part of the household is supposed to tell you something about the characters that live there. All the toys, all of the art supplies, the skateboard on the wall. Even I think even the color palette I had kind of thought of because it's supposed to be like green, pink, and blue. The hierarchy sort of kind of infesting their household despite all their efforts.
Yo, that's fire.
Yo, I'm so glad that you think so. I was like, this is a bit of a stretch. I don't know if this is gonna make any sense.
No, this is that fire shit that you got to talk about in university.
I'm gonna talk about them in university, and they're gonna be like, wait. Gods, huh? Blue, green, pink. Like there's so much like context I need to like give first.
You could do that. I mean, you talked about PA. You gave an intro to Purrfect Apawcalypse for like 10 minutes at the start. So.
No, you're right. I can totally explain this shit as fast as possible. Yeah, I need to put like white background so you can actually see the line art.
Oh shit.
Holy, what?
Oh, that's busy.
Yeah, so I have a lot to organize, but I wanted to show the students some ideation. And by ideation, I mean I made this tiny thumbnail sketch that showed the chairs will be here, the table will be here, this will be there, and all that. I don't know. I feel like you don't have to think, or I didn't have to think too hard about laying things out in a background that is just a box. I think it'd be different if I had to take into account like different angles and stuff, but I was just literally playing like Sims and drawing furniture and putting it there. Yep, blocking in a couch. Maybe a couch could be there. This is getting closer to the final layout I decided on. And then kind of cleaned up certain pieces of furniture. Yeah, I can't really explain myself out of this one. I just kind of drew whatever I thought at the time, and it kind of worked out. Oh my god, are you taking notes?
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, is it like... Okay, you know, never mind. I'm not going to worry about it. What else do I have? Yeah, okay, that's it. Well, so that was my presentation. I was probably going to end the presentation with, like, I have to think about what to end off with. There's no moral to the story. It's just like, you just make the thing that you like. Here's a picture of my dog. Here are my socials. That's it.
A dog.
A dog! Okay, yeah, let me actually find a picture of my dog.
Get the one where they're sitting really stupid.
No. No, what, wait. This one?
Okay, I miscalculated. She always is sitting kind of stupid. That looks so cold. Like, it's all blue tone.
No! Wait, I have to crop this image.
Did you want to do a mini Q&A session with the chat just as practice for doing Q&A?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So I'll put my dog here, and then I'll put socials. All right. That's going to be the final thing that the students see. A Q&A session. If you guys have questions, pretend maybe that you're environmental and storytelling design students, or you're looking into getting a job in indie game dev or animation, and think, what question would you ask? And I'll just sit here and wait.
Sick. You can do this for a bit and then... Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Dude, why does sea lion look like that? She does look like a sea lion, like her, especially when her ears are folded back like that. Oh, was Ginger sketched out or designed, or was he just kind of made up on the spot as a corpse for PA? Yeah, Ginger started off as just a corpse. I didn't draw her sort of like a full body sketch until PA2. It was just a picture in my sketchbook. I feel like I must have posted it somewhere online, and I would dig around for it, but it would take like 10 whole minutes, and I don't want to do that. But yeah, she didn't have like a sketch page, kind of like the main cast did. Not like where is that page? Yeah, she didn't have one of these. I know that the cast of PA3, like the extended cast, had some similar sketches like these, but not Ginger. She's special. This person says, I have no money and don't like people. How do I meet people?
Don't meet people.
Don't even bother. It ain't worth it. Just kidding. How do you meet people?
No, they spelled meat weird.
Oh yeah, okay.
Don't meet people.
I don't know how you meet people. I'm pescatarian.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the best moment of developing, the process or the result? Ooh, that's a really nice question. I think the process. The process was really great. The result was great too, just because like I don't know, I felt like I got to connect with cool people and like get a livelihood, and I don't know, feel more confident in myself as like a person who made stuff, because I really had no confidence that I could like make games. I just kind of did. But yeah, the process of making it, I think, was like very freeing and cathartic, if a bit anxiety inducing, because I knew that it would be something that I'd show people later, especially my friends, because like I don't know, I never drew furry gore in front of my friends. So I'm like, this is a side of myself that they have never seen before. Yeah. Did the specials for the PA characters correlate to their personality or vice versa? Oh, species. Why did I see? Okay, I think because I've been playing Hades, I've been reading shit as special now.
Oops.
Anyway, did the species for the PA characters correlate to their personality? Yes. Or at the very least, I was trying to go for that. Let's see.
I wonder if this person's asking, like, if you picked the species first and then based the personality around that, or if you imagine the personalities and then
Oh.
picked the appropriate species.
I think I imagined the personalities first and then put the mood board together because I knew that I like wanted a character that was like vaguely heroic or sporty, and then decided on a species. And for Brownie, I knew that I wanted her to be like pretty cute and I don't know, just kind of a bit of a prankster, a little gremlin. So I think I went with Corgi because of that. Black and white cats as like occult cats just kind of made sense to me because I mean I know that there are cat breeds, but I don't know. Most cats are just like standard issue. This is a
Nah.
cat.
There's cat colors.
There's cat colors. There aren't cat breeds.
There's colors.
Yeah. So I actually don't think I had a specific breed in mind for Coco and Angel. It was just like black cat, white cat.
Yep.
And Olive being a mutt. I don't know. They're supposed to be the generic like protagonist. So I kind of went with that. As for why the Dalmatian is the bookworm, I don't know. I think I just thought like Dalmatians are really iconic and we don't have a Dalmatian in the game yet, so let's make that Patches. Okay. Let's see. Oh. Oh, in terms of the wait, this is such a question. What the heck? In terms of the actual sociology behind it, is PA meant to be so introspective about male loneliness, or is the main theme just to be openly queer and sincere media in its own right? Oh my god, that's a very good question. Meant to be introspective about male loneliness. Well, it wasn't about male loneliness, so much as maybe just general loneliness. I guess I can't personally speak to male loneliness. And at the time, I don't know if that was top of mind for me. I do think that being openly queer and sincere was top of mind for me when making it because I don't know, I was really, I guess, closeted and like didn't really know how to like talk about how I felt about my gender or sexuality. And Purrfect Apawcalypse was really, I think, the first queer piece of media that I'd made. So yeah, I guess I'd say the latter. I forget if this is the case, but did you initially intend for PA to be a standalone game?
You weren't imagining the whole series when you first sat down to make that Game Jam game,
Oh.
were you?
No. I don't know. I think like I wasn't really thinking that far at all. I was really short-sighted. I was just like, I'm gonna get this thing done, and like if whatever happens after happens. Thinking about sequels and trilogies was not on my mind until like I think maybe a couple people had asked if there would be another game, and then I was like, oh, I hadn't even thought that maybe I could make another game, but I guess people are interested and I have ideas, so I may as well.
Oh my god, an environmental question.
Oh my god. Okay, yes. Thank you, Poopsock8136. The goat. Poopsock the goat. Okay.
Our hero.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, stop. Why does this keep clicking this? Okay. In an attempt to sound like a hypothetical art student, can environments be overly detailed? What's the difference between clutter and detail? That is a great question. I think it depends on your purposes for the environment. For a video game, you have to think about cognitive overload. And there are a lot of games that kind of manage well enough with complicated backgrounds. Like I was just talking about, I just mentioned Hades, but Hades is a great example of like very overly complicated backgrounds that they seem to do well enough, like to not distract the player. But everywhere you look is, a little piece of information that tells you more about the world or the characters in it.
I have a hot take.
Yes.
I think that Hades 2, the environments suffer from contrast issues. It's sometimes hard to see what you can interact with.
I would agree. Yeah. Especially in like the morning fields. I'm always just like running into the freaking wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, overly detailed. Was it clutter and detail? Is there a difference between clutter and detail?
I feel like it'd be interesting to think about that question in the context of like Cool Kid Cody.
Yeah, Cool Kid Cody has a lot of detail, especially compared to Purrfect Apocalypse. Let me see if I can bring up
Dog.
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 Yeah, I mean, it sort of depends. Some environments are left a little bit more open and less detailed as sort of a breath of fresh air, but uh, if you can see behind these characters, yeah, it is quite complicated. I think so long as it doesn't detract from the experience of playing the game, then and so long as the piece of detail you're putting in adds something to the environment, either maybe just aesthetically, but also maybe it's information. Um, if you can pack some kind of value in that detail, then I don't see a reason why you should omit it.
Just be purposeful.
Yeah, be purposeful. Um, what was your process for choosing how the environments would be displayed? Example, isometric or side scroller?
Mm.
Yeah, I honestly wanted to change the sort of viewpoint in every Perfect Apocalypse game purely as practice or like a challenge to myself. Um, if I had to think about what would best serve like the player while playing the game, I think that I really liked either the environments of PA3 or PA1 or a combination of it. I know PA3 had a combination of the sort of flat side scroller look, which I think like served the game kind of perfectly. Let me bring that up. Yeah, I mean you fit all the detail you need, you fit all the characters you need. It's a pretty simple backdrop behind the larger character sprites and the dialogue. I think that this was like the correct choice. Whereas like PA2, there was no decision, not a lot of decision making behind making it isometric, aside from just like experimenting. And I think that it might have done better with like perhaps a different point of view on the environments. Let's see. On that subject, why was PA2 so different and honestly kind of hard carrying? Like, goddamn, you paced the character interactions so good coming from other projects that cluttered all characters always. Oh, that's really nice of you to say. I hadn't even like really thought of PA2's pacing as being that way. But I'm really glad to hear that because I think like writing PA2, I was second guessing myself so hard. I was like, I don't know. um,
I think if you scroll up a bit, there are some other cool questions here and there.
okay. How long do you think you should spend on ideation compared to getting things done? That is an awesome question because I think that for me personally, if it's like a first time making a game, I would spend as little time on ideation as possible. Aside from well, okay, when I talk about making a first game, I guess making a visual novel is very different from making a game that has actual mechanics. But if I was making a video game with actual game mechanics, all my time ideating would be spent on those mechanics and not on the character designs or the environments or the story even. Well, maybe the story because I think narrative first approaches are is always the approach that I take. What do you think?
Oh man, I feel like that's a really good question, but it's super tough.
Yeah, it
I
depends so much on the person and the project.
yeah, I feel like in terms of ideation, something a belief I hold close to my heart is that like whenever you're making something creative, like whether it's a novel or a video game or like even a piece of artwork, like you kind of should have at the front of your mind what it is you want to say.
Hmm.
And this can even be true even if your game is like purely mechanical. Like even if you're just making like Tetris and there's
Yeah.
basically no story, kind of like with Panel Royale, I was like, I don't really care about there being like a story to this game. Like I don't care about there being a reason you're doing like the blocks or whatever, but like I want to have this kind of mechanical feeling. And I kind of want it to look like a bit of a space aesthetic. I think that was kind of like my North Star. And I think it I don't know. Is like 80/20 rule like a good application here? Like 20% ideation, 80% like working on stuff. I think it's going to vary from project to project, but I think if you're finding yourself like kind of going in circles with ideation, like, and you're kind of not really getting anywhere, and you kind of keep trying to make something, and then you sort of lose steam or you lose direction, it might be good to just hit the brakes a bit and think about what it is you're trying to say with your piece of media, or what feeling you want to evoke, like mechanically, if it's a video game, and just kind of make sure you understand like your North Star and what it is you're trying to
Yeah.
make.
Like, I don't know. I feel like I can imagine somebody telling me that you want to spend 80% of your time ideating and 20% producing. Um, but I guess if we're defining ideation as like get pinning down like the character and environment design and mechanics and all that stuff before actually creating final versions of all that, because you want to have like a solid foundation before you commit to like a random idea. Like I guess we kind of ran into this with Pilotone where we kept ideating on the actual game mechanics, and that changed like the UI design, and so we kept having to redesign the UI.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at the same time, I don't know. I I like playing fast and loose with ideation and not getting bogged down. I think that if you know yourself well and you feel like you're the type of person to get like to kind of spin their wheels, then it might be good to try to force yourself into like a constricted timeline and not spend too much time ideating.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I think Pilotone is Pilotone's been interesting because I think that it's been sort of like exemplary in a good way to design a game and be iterative, but it's
Hmm.
also been kind of I guess a little bit disappointing in terms of like the timeline, because in my mind it's almost like we've made Pilotone like 3 times now. Like we've sort of had an idea of like the mechanics and how we want it to look and behave, and we sort of built like a very simple prototype, and then we tested it, and then we were like, oh, this is kind of like bupkis, like this isn't really that fun. So we've kind of gone back to the drawing board like 4 times now, and we're on
Hmm.
like the fourth sort of like iteration of it. And
Yeah.
I think
I think this
that
is the final one though.
probably
No, okay, well, I really think that this is like a good concept that we have.
it's smelling pretty good this time, but like while it's disappointing that we've kind of had to like rehash it like, you know, 3 or 4 times now, um it's still a good process, because the bad thing that you could do as an alternative to this is like have one idea and then just like run it completely into the dirt
Yes.
for like years, even though you're not really certain that it's gonna actually be good, and then you have to make a YouTube video called "I spent three
Yeah.
years making my game and it stank and nobody liked it and
Yeah.
now I'm sad."
Yeah, you definitely don't want to run into that. I feel like it's so you have to really run on your intuition. And if you feel like the project smells bad, you just have to scrap it or change it.
Yeah, so
So
keep
ideation ends when you feel like it should end.
yeah, keep the ideation brief, get to executing, and then especially in video games, rush to that prototype to see if your game stinks and you need to like hit the drawing board again.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
What a very succinct way to answer that question.
Yep.
I'm like, well,
it
I guess the answer is like it depends.
it depends.
Let's see.
Oh, it's from before.
Oh, is having an unexpected audience for any project, such as your games, a good thing or bad thing, rather than predicting the type of audience to play your games? That's interesting because I wrote a slide about target demographic for this presentation and kind of scrapped it because I wasn't sure how pertinent it would be for like an environmental design class. But I was thinking about how like when I made this game, Perfect Apocalypse, like the first demo, I thought that the demographic would be like late teens or maybe even like early 20s because of the mature like content. But then I think because this was something that I had decided was the demographic before even drawing. And then I started drawing it, and it just looks cute. And I think it looks like appealing to younger audiences. And I think that's sort of the way it goes online anyway, is that anything that you think will be for a mature audience, younger people are going to find a way to play it. If anything, it feels like um, they want to play it out of spite almost. Um, and I I feel a little conflicted about whether or not that is like, I feel like it's kind of a bad thing because I feel guilty about putting gore in front of their eyes, even unintentionally. Um, and at the same time, I guess like the youth have been inspired in a way by this work, and that's kind of nice. But yeah, I think like it would have been great to have been able to maybe predict that that would have happened. I think it might have changed the way that I put these games out there. Maybe put a few more disclaimers on it. I now have like after the fact put and like recommended for ages 15 plus message in the description of all like the itch games or any platform that isn't age gated, I think. Because I was like so I don't know, I felt so weird about hearing like 12-year-olds playing this game. Um, yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else to say on that?
It's tough to predict exactly who your audience is going to be, and I feel like there's a
Hmm.
lot of stories where a piece of media has a totally unexpected audience and it
Yeah.
kind of makes headlines, and that can be really fun when that happens, I think. But
Hmm.
I think, yeah, it can be a little awkward if you've made some media that is getting consumed by an audience that might be like a bit too young, and then that can sort of put you in a position where you need to, I don't know, you have to start thinking about like any safeguards that you might be responsible for putting in as a developer, and that's very, 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 very case by case. So it's hard to give some concrete advice there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like even knowing that very young people would play this game, I wonder if I would change too much about the game. I know I changed some wording here and there because I felt like it was just like too mature. Or yeah.
But I guess like I think that worrying about what the target demographic of a piece of media is going to be is sort of a corporate esque concern.
It really
It's
is.
like, oh, are you targeting like the 18 to 35 have lots of money, like Western demographics, so you can get lots of like sales and stuff? And it's like, if you're worried about that, then I mean, that's cool. I guess like making money is like very fun and very epic, but like I think first and foremost you should be thinking about like, what it is you're trying to say
Yeah.
with your
Like
game.
that's priority.
Yeah, you don't want to have to like, dumb down your message or your story just because it doesn't meet like the target demo.
Yeah, exactly. I did find out about it when I was fairly young. I don't regret a second of it though. I'm glad. My worst nightmare is that like someone young plays this game and they think that it's like okay to like be a like edgy knife wielding like furry dog boy. I mean, you can be a furry dog boy. That's fine. Everything else though, I mean, I haven't heard of anybody like going out and like being too overly edgy, hopefully.
Do you want to answer this last environment question, and then maybe go grab a snack?
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay. Wait. Oh, no, why does it keep doing this? Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's at the top.
Oh. How do you keep a game's environment from accidentally misleading the player? Oh, I feel like that's something that you just have to play test in order to figure out. It's really hard to predict whether somebody will see the item that you planted there or find enough contrast between like the wall and the floor and all that stuff without actually watching someone play. Um,
Oh, having consistent cues in your game is really useful.
yeah, consistent cues, um, consistent color palette, like maybe all your clickable elements have a certain color or sheen or animation to them.
Yeah.
Consistent placement. Think about other games that kind of share the same genre and where they place, menu options and all that. Health bar, like there's really no, doesn't really make much sense to put the health bar, you know, on a vertical right side kind of like bar. Yeah, dude. Well, I think I'm just becoming completely brain dead. I like cannot think or speak anymore.
It's over.
It's over. I can't think of what else to say about this freaking game, dude. It's just dogs.
It's dogs.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Thank you guys so much for like joining in on this impromptu stream. I really was not expecting it. I thought that this was a private stream, so like I'm probably gonna have to like test this again in the future and try to make this private. Ideally, because like you know we're gonna be presenting this to students. I can't have you guys jumping in a chat.
Settings?
Settings? Okay, let me see.
No
'Cause
settings.
When you set up the broadcast in OBS, it asks you if you want the stream to be private, and I'm pretty sure I checkmarked private. Oh, the
Oh,
heck is it?
jeez, it just took like half an hour to open.
But yeah, I'll show you. I'll run it by you. But I guess just a heads up to everyone here, like we might put the stream on again. If it ends up public, that's an accident, and we'll probably end it like immediately afterwards. So that's not us trying to avoid you. It's literally us testing and being bad at technology. Will you release the stream after the presentation? I would love to.
Yeah. I think so.
I don't see any reason why not. I might ask my friend, just make sure like, hey, can I upload the VOD onto YouTube? And maybe you can share it with your students that way, and I can share it with the community myself.
Thumbs up.
Sweet. Just say y'all hate us, twin. Okay. I don't have to say it. You already know it. I'm just kidding. Okay. Well, love you guys. Bye.